All right, we're just gonna start from here. Um, yeah, Streamlabs just completely went down on me. Um, it froze and things happened. I did whatever. Um, um. Anywho, all right, let's get. Didn't I delete this? Could have sworn I deleted it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Hello, YouTube chat. Welcome back. I am basically the idea behind this video is I am going to be making a thoughts video. This is my thoughts on 2K24. After this is now September 27th. Played it for almost 3 weeks. Almost 3 weeks, and um we'll start from here, I guess. I'm gonna mute the 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 clips in the background. Um, I'm gonna mute the clips in the background, but we're gonna start. All right, so I got my little list. But yeah, we're just gonna let the clips run, and when they finish, they finish. Um, so basically, what I wanted to do is kind of dissect the game in itself. Like just wanted to dissect it a little bit. Um, Now, the first thing I would talk about in reference to this game, we're specifically reviewing the next gen version of the game. I haven't played current gen. From what I hear, their builder is is the 23 builder, but again, we're not here for that. So we're specifically and exclusively reviewing. Let me turn this off. There we go. We're reviewing the next gen version of the game. As you can see by the symbols on the screen, I play on Xbox. So what I want to talk about first, this is just in order of the builder. So I'll talk about the finishing. The finishing has definitely seen an improvement. You're gonna see a bunch of different things in these clips. This isn't just like all good clips, all bad. This is just a bunch of random stuff that not random stuff, but stuff that I clipped. Anyway, so I'm gonna talk about the finishing. The finishing saw a major upgrade. It's actually it it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I know I've said this multiple times already, and those of you who've watched the series, you probably have heard me say it probably about 3-4 times. Floaters are a thing this year, and they haven't been in previous years. That's saying something. Like, I have had to, in most cases, fall victim to playing 2K versus playing basketball because the slashing or whatever the situation was. That one is needed audio, so I skipped that clip. But I've finally been able to really play basketball. Like throwing up a floater feels really good this year. Unfortunately, there's different animations that you'll get, but it's still a viable option. Also, the reverse layups are a viable option too. The spins feel kind of slow. Euros also feel kind of slow, but I'm using the default layup package. See that's the Euro right there. I'm using the default small layup package because I'm too tall I'm 1 inch taller than the package I was going for, and I didn't even realize it. So maybe some other packages get better animations. Anyway, but the dunking with the dunk meter, it's rough. It's rough. It's rough. We'll talk about that in a second. I'll come back to that. So yeah, now we're on to the shooting. Where do I begin? He got injured. Where do I begin? They actively, as most of you probably already know, they actively have shrank the green window pretty much for every shot. Um, and it's just it's not. I'm not having as much fun with shooting, and I have an 85 3 point. I have not been a bad shooter historically. Um, 23 was probably my worst year shooting because of the whole variable shot timing crap. I'm not a fan of it at all. That doesn't make any sense to me. Because if a shooter can shoot, they can shoot and they're consistent. That's the point. You know, like whatever. But they talked about bringing it in line with more NBA numbers as to why they touch shooting and things of that nature. I I I'm just not a fan of that mentality going into Park. Rec 5v5 where the NBA is played, that makes sense. But Park, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it. I'm just really not a fan of it. Um so we'll get back to shooting again, but in reference to, yeah, we'll get back to it. Um I stopped and looked at this guy just because of what he had on. So yeah. Now, the biggest part that it was either a make or break year for me in terms of this 2K. I said that this 2K was if it was a my career 2K, this was going to be the last 2K I bought for a while. And for a while I mean maybe at least 2 years, because I did not enjoy 23. It was not fun to me at all. Um, it took me out of Park, which is what I love to do, because of the 6'9" point guards, the 6'9" small forwards, and you know the way that that interacted with the badge system. It took me completely out of Park. I played more rec games in 23 than I did Park games, and that's and already in this game right here in 24, I have almost, I think it's a little over at this. It's close to 300 Park games already in 3 weeks. Now, keep that in mind compared to what I was telling you about the rec games and the amount of rec games compared to Park last year. I already have 300 and it hasn't even been 3 weeks yet. That's how much I love to play Park. And yes, I did play theater and stuff like that. Still didn't want to go in there. I didn't want to go in there. So, but but the defense is what we're here to talk about. Blocks and steals. The blocks, I'll be honest, it felt good at the beginning of the year. When I say the beginning of the year, I mean a couple weeks ago, basically. um, it got worse for me. It got worse for me. I have a 76 block. Yesterday I finally put on the +1 block arm sleeve. And it doesn't feel any, and even with defensive take, it still doesn't feel good. It still doesn't feel good. I just I I like the way that the blocks felt, but it seems like something for me. I'm just saying for me. I'm not. I, I don't know. I'm saying for me, it feels like something happened. Um, the steals, everybody was complaining about them in the beginning. They actually had to buff like badge progress pretty much. That's pretty much what they did. Um, and I noticed that the gameplay started to change because a lot of people were saying, just like I was, my unpluckable wasn't moving. It just wasn't moving. Um, and you know, I can attest to that. To on stream, today's Wednesday, Monday, I I fouled out of my first part game of the year for getting 5 fouls because I was reaching when it made sense, but I wasn't getting the ball. I was reaching when I normally reach. Let me put it that way. I know like this the steals this year felt like 2K22 season 1. Like when the game launched. Like when you see those people dribbling and dribbling, you see them go to the right wing and then they do it behind the back and the ball's in their left hand, I would be sitting here waiting to reach. And when the ball got there, I reached and I would get the steal in 22 until they nerfed steals to the ground and messed up the game once again. This year, there's a similar system. There's a similar system to where I know realistically I'm a better on-ball defender than I am in the lanes because whatever. But yeah, so it feels good to me. It feels good to me. Do I have my issues with it? Sure. Kawhi sold me. Kawhi sold me. I passed it to him to get the ball back, and this man sold me. But yeah, they feel good to an extent. They feel good. But yeah, I don't have too many issues with it. I mean, you know, it you run into issues when with squads because they'll most likely all of them will have like an 85 steal or a 90 steal or something like that. Then the game is just weird because they have a 90 steal, then they have a high ball handling, and then they probably can shoot. You know what I mean? So it's not that they have a high block or they have a high interior defense. Their steal rating, quote unquote, perimeter defense, which is actually a separate attribute, but the steals takes the place of perimeter. Because all they're doing is coming up to you and hitting the button or trying to use the right stick, which is a new thing. And then ultimately they don't have to worry about paint defense if they can just rip you right, as soon as you cross half court or just, pressure you into, you know what I mean? So it's not that they're actually playing defense. They just have a high enough rating that it affects the game. So that part of it, I'm not a fan of. I know Eve was saying, and I agree with it to an extent. She was saying that X should be taken out of the game in terms of steals and stuff. I agree with it, like I said, to an extent. Because I can't get, like I said, I can't get lane steals for whatever reason. I just, for some reason, my timing is completely off. I can do on ball. Like, that's actually one of my favorite parts of basketball because I used to play like street football. I love interceptions. I love them. I know when to time them. I know when to jump. I know when to hit but when it comes to 2K, it's not the same thing, unfortunately. It's just not the same thing. And I mean, it is what it is. Like when there's like, people trying to paint mash, and they're like, a point guard, it's a pick and roll, and they're, like I said, they're trying to paint mash, and the point guard is just constantly passing to the big. The right stick is not as responsive as it should be. And that's a big complaint that I have as it relates to even with the on-ball steals. I constantly am flicking left or right, and it's not doing anything. And that's a problem because that's a core mechanic. I'm trying to play defense. Number one, I'm hitting my controller with the intention of my player doing something. And when it does nothing, it like, I'm not trying to be funny, but everything is a factor when it comes to, like, I'm obsessed with winning. So when something doesn't go the way that it was supposed to, it affects something else. Meaning, if like that's why I have such a big problem with the shooting, because you have variable shot timings But if I don't know which shot I'm gonna get, that doesn't make any sense to me. If I catch the ball by myself, wide open, I should know what type of release I'm gonna get, or what type of load up. Like that's a, like I didn't pay this money. I didn't pay money for this game to be frustrated. You know what I mean? To just have random things happen, which is why I didn't enjoy 23. I didn't enjoy it at all. Like, why would I pay for randomness? You know what I mean? Like, and the analogy I made is that you don't see COD hitting, R2 or the right stick when you go to shoot your gun, and all of a sudden your gun just starts doing burst or single shot, and then it goes back to auto. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, when you hit a button, you're expecting something specific to happen. So that's why I was talking about shooting and the steals have the same issue for me. But yeah, so I already talked about the blocks. I have never defensive. I'm gonna put it this way: defensive rebounding feels decent. It feels decent. I'm not Ramsey. What's up? I'm not complaining per se about that. But I will say, offensive rebounds have never felt so bad. They have never felt so bad. I have a 78 defensive rebounding, which means I only get bronze rebound chaser, as you can see it in the clip here. Which makes my offense like a 33 or something like that. But it's absolutely terrible. You're gonna see it in a clip coming up. You're gonna see it in a clip. Look for, like, I'll point it out to you. But offensive rebounding has never felt so terrible. Like, I don't know what it is about 2K, but I've never gone to one of, like, my favorite players, or somebody like LeBron, or somebody like D-Wade. D-Wade is my favorite player, not LeBron, but I like Klay Thompson. I like D-Wade. I like people like that. Even Devin Harris. This is back. This is me playing. This is me watching a my NBA game. This is 2010 era. That's the era of basketball I grew up in. I think it's this clip right here. Speaking of which, I think it's this clip right here. Hold on. Yep, it's this clip right here. When I was talking about offensive rebounding, I want you to pay attention to something. I'm going to take a I'm going to take a floater, right? It gets blocked. Did you see that? I want you to pay attention to something here. 2 defenders are in the air. A third is at the free throw line. And this is what happens. This is exactly the clip. I'm so glad this happened. I took a floater. I greened it, realistically. Look, he volleyballs it. My teammate, by himself, volleyballs it. That's horrible. That is horrible gameplay mechanics. I don't know what your attribute has to be for you to miss that completely. And that's the problem. There's too much of a focus on attributes and not enough focus on basketball. I'm not a fan of the interceptor badge when it came out in 2K19. And we lost the game because I'm not saying that we could have potentially come back. It was a pretty bad game, but we don't even have a chance when you do stuff like that. And this is the problem. That's the problem. That's why I said the little things. That could have been a momentum swing. We could have got a 3. I'm just saying. Everything affects everything. When you're like, anyway, that's just me. See, we're playing with the same dude because we know we shouldn't have lost or whatever. And look at the score now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know him, but it is what it is. Anyway, you said LOL volleyballs it. That's what I'm like, and that it might be funny to watch, but it's extremely frustrating to have that happen. It's extremely frustrating because you have no control over it. And the same thing with reaching. Defense. I'm gonna put it that way. Defense. There's a move queue. We experienced it about 3 times today, maybe around 3 to 6. There's a move queue. You're getting sucked into screens, and if you reach beforehand, Once you get out of the animation of you being in the screen, you're gonna reach because it's a move cue. But if you flick it, but if you move your right stick by itself, sometimes it doesn't register. So it's like that unresponsiveness that is not okay when you have a controller in your hand trying to do something specific. So I hope that makes sense. Let's move on to something else. Okay. So movement. Why it took that long for me to get the ball. I reached there, and it took a bump steal for me to get the ball. You see what I'm saying? When I tell you that I know what he's going to do. Look, right there. Right there. He's going back and forth like everybody does. And I can't get the ball until a bump steal. But keep in mind, if you look, I lose an adrenaline bar. And what they did was, well, it happened last year as well. But when you lose an adrenaline bar for reaching or trying to block something, your defensive attributes go down. So you're at your best when you have the 3 bars. So your first reach is always going to be your best one. So when I don't get it because of something like this, now I'm being penalized by the game for doing the right thing. I had to wait on a bump steal. It shouldn't be that way. But moving on. I was talking about movement. I said it before the game came out. See what I mean about playing the sides? Most people just do the step back and they come back. So anyway, we're not gonna get into defensive. We're not gonna get into defensive. Anyway. I said it before the game came out. I see you, Ramsey. Just give me a second. Pro play for next gen. I said either it was gonna be the biggest thing to hit the game, or it was gonna be absolutely nothing. I said that before the game came out, before anyone knew what it was, before they released, whatever. It was either going to be the biggest thing or it was going to be nothing. I enjoy pro play. I very much am a fan of it. It changed the game for me this year. The movement is beautiful. I think this is actually, speaking of movement, this is the clip where I got my dribble moves. Yeah, this is the clip. Speaking of movement, this is perfect timing. Check this out. It's not nothing complicated, but spin move, leading to the size up, leading to the behind the back. I like to put myself in the game. Speaking of the movement again, the dribbles and stuff like that, I like to put myself in the game. So things that I have done in real life, that is how I build my player in terms of dribbles, in terms of the way that the shot looks, in terms of the shots that I take, which is why I said I'm so glad that floaters are actually a thing this year. I love it. I love it. I don't have any downsides to it. I really don't. You know, they changed the way that adrenaline works. Um, so you know, there's a lot more dribbling this year, which I mean, again, like and another YouTuber, 2K YouTuber, it's Reese. He said if they want to dribble out the whole shot clock, let them. And I agree with that statement. But you got to give us something on defense to combat that. For many years, it's been just a strictly offensive game. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's strictly, we're gonna play that again. It's been strictly an offensive game. And there's been no type of, you know, we got right stick ripper this year on defense, which when you use your right stick, when it registers, when you use your right stick, you get a higher chance of getting the steal, and that works for passing lanes as well. So see, I waited on his right side. I waited on his right side because everybody, he's running to the right, he goes back to the left, and he's gonna try to go back right. That's how, for whatever reason, the only time I get beat, I don't know if y'all noticed it. Look, listen, I'm giving y'all a tip right now. If y'all watch any one of the videos, just pick one. Pick one. The only time I really get beat by an offensive ball handler is when they go in the same direction without cutting back. Because everybody cuts back. So that's what I'm they don't even think about it. Like, I'll be standing right there and they'll still come into me. Why do they do that? Because in years past, 2K has not punished that type of ball handling. I'm going to show you a clip. But 2K doesn't punish that. And that's the problem. That's what I was talking about in reference to defense. I enjoy defense. I love defense. Am I gifted at offense? Yes, I am. But I love defense. Defense is where I take the most pride in what's going on, because you're countering and you have to think. You have to think when it comes to defense. Okay, so Ramsey says, I thought all of this was normal in 2K NBA games. I never knew this was a problem when I was watching the videos. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. If you don't know, it looks normal. But I've played 2K since Dreamcast. Since it was NBA 2K, since the very first one. Okay? So, I'm talking about over the years. I'm not going to sit here and say that 2K isn't, you know, the 2K hasn't set the bar. Live hasn't been a competitor for many, many years now. I used to buy them both when they were competing. 06, you know, around there, 07, 09, stuff like that. I used to buy them both. That was their direct competitor, you know, outside of, you know, NBA Street and, you know, arcade games like that. That's different. But see how I'm playing his, see, I even reached because I thought he was going to come. So this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about. I'm saving up for the Mamba moment, for the Mamba takeover. I have takeover already that I can activate, and I have 69%. What happened here was he spammed X and got the ball, and I have an 81 ball handle. Is it random? Sure. Does that happen all the time? It happens to different people, not to me a lot. But it's not something that I can even... My problem with most of the things in 2K is like, when I see something bad happen or something unfortunate, I want to know how to avoid that again. And in 2K, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. You don't learn anything from it. Like you can't like it's not like, you know, when somebody's running into like, and I've had it happen. I have a clip, I promise you, it's probably later on, but I have a clip of a ball handler going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, just like, you know, dribble heads, how they do. And he's just constantly running into me, but he's not losing the ball. I didn't reach because in reaching, I think one clip, I already had 2 fouls for reaching when I was supposed to. So he's just constantly running into me, and that's what they did all in previous years. I'm telling you, that was the strat. But anyway, I don't have a problem with the people dribbling, the movement, the stuff that they're doing. I have no problem with it because I have a counter on defense. I have a counter. See, I got plucked. Okay, fine. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm not a dribble head like that. Do I know the moves? Sure. Could I do them? Yeah. But I'm not, that's not the way I play basketball. That's not what interests me. It happens every once in a while, as you can see. I mean, you can watch the videos. I'm just saying, you can watch the videos. I don't ISO like that. I don't. There's a lot more useful. There's a better use of my time than doing that. There's a better use of my time than doing that. That's not. I'm not huge on that. This is just one of the funny moments. So yeah, I don't have a problem with the movement. I actually love the movement. Love it. Love it. Um, I love I love the finishing in the game. The fact that they have made an attempt to make slashing part of the game again. Y'all will see me do a bunch of Euro steps, a bunch of, again, y'all see me do floaters. I haven't really gotten into bunnies and hops. Well, that's the same thing. Bunnies and scoops. Um, I've done a few of the reverse layups and things of that nature. So it's like, I really appreciate the fact that um they've made an attempt with the slashing. I'll be honest, I do not like the fact that you can turn layup timing off. Because in some of the videos, you will see people, like, if you see behind me, hold on, let me do this. If you see behind me, all right, let me not let me move this. But if you see behind me where it says timing excellent, you will see that, well, actually you might not see it, but you'll hear me mention it, that people are just turning their timing off and jumping into the crowd. That's not that's just not, that's not okay. They shouldn't be rewarded for doing that. Just because they have a 90 layup means that they don't have to make decisions when it comes to a smart shot selection. That I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Which is why, it is what it is. But yeah, but again, no problem with movements. It's just something. As you can see in a lot of these videos, you already saw a fireball once. That was my first fireball. That happened off stream. Um, I got 2 fireballs already. And again, this is less than 3 weeks. Y'all see me streaking. Y'all see clips of me playing with the same people. I have been streaking this year. And I've been streaking more this year than in all 4. Well, let's put it 3. Take 24 out of it. In all 3 of the next gen games combined already. I've already streaked more in this game in less than 3 weeks because of the fact that decision making is heavily it's part of the game now. when it hasn't been in a long time. So there's that. Okay. I'm getting into my final thoughts. Um, and this is realistically, I have a whole bunch more clips. Um, I don't want to waste any of your time because it's already 35 minutes, but I want to give it a real review. I was recording this because I was at the edge of gold. It never got to purple, but see, that was a floater. I did a floater. Well, I don't know if they counted it as a floater, but I did hit the floater. Yeah, see, float game. There you go. That's what I mean. That right there. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the right stick thing. See? I had to put mine on absolute because camera relative was selling games. It was selling games for me. I put it on absolute within the last 7 days. It made somewhat of a difference, but still. Oh, here we go. Now we get into what happened yesterday. These are the clips from yesterday. I streaked a bit, was trying to get to level 37 so that I could get the Kobe jersey because I actually have a similar jersey on now. Yeah. Got 24 on the back. Anyway, but that was my very first one that I caught. I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the game. I feel as though it got worse somehow. I don't know how, but the blocks feel like it got worse. Um it just feels like it got worse. And this is one of those things where you have no control over what happens. And that's the part that sucks. He just throws a chest pass right into like he wasn't standing there or anything. Very much sucks. Very much sucks. The mini game that happens when it comes to the mini game that happens when it comes to a loose ball, I'm not a huge fan of it. Probably because I lose pretty much all of them realistically. I'm not a huge fan of it. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But yeah. Like I said, I enjoyed the game. I did. Um, but there's just like if you watch the videos that posted on Tuesday and even the one that posted today, you will see the only problem I really have with this game. Well, the people don't help. Be honest, the people don't help. We're gonna kind of move along, but the people don't help. Um, I run theater for the most part, because this community is a weird one, and I'm not I'm not a fan of them. We the last game we played on stream today. This one was crazy because this was a contact putback. Anyway, the last game we played today and lost on the randoms court was to a squad. The game before that, that we just ended up just playing because I'm just trying to hoop, we lost to a squad on the randoms court. I don't have a squad. So I'm going to the randoms court and end up playing a squad anyway. So it's like I don't really enjoy that part of this community. You know, 'cause it's just ugh. Anyway. But the game itself, it has its moments, and that's the problem. Those moments are sporadic, but it has its moments. Um, they're not as consistent as I would like them to be. Um, but it has its moments. So, could I recommend this game? This is it. I don't know. Um, I'll be honest. I specifically wanted this year. I wanted a game that see this that's what I mean about the blocks right there. That right there is what I mean about the blocks. Um, I wanted a game that if you didn't know basketball, you would not want to play the game. That's the kind of game I wanted because we haven't had that in a long time. It's just people watching dribble tutorials, watching best build videos, and not really like and it's not even I don't fully blame them, but 2K as a company has not been teaching basketball. It just hasn't. And that's the problem. It's a way to end the game. Weird game. Um, it just hasn't been teaching basketball, and that's been my problem with it. That's why this was literally a make or break year for me. Um, I just wasn't a fan of the nonsense anymore. I just wasn't a fan of it. Um, I didn't even notice he activated his defensive take at the last second. I didn't even notice that. Um, but yeah, they have this. We didn't talk about the badges yet. They have a they have a 2K17 mixed with a 2K19 type of system where the you don't have a set badge loadout per se. It's based off of the attributes. It's based off of the attributes that you put on your player. And but that being said, the badges can regress, meaning the higher tiers. Anyway, by this point, you're watching this because you already know about the game. Would I recommend it? See what I mean about the floaters? I believe that you could have fun with the right mentality on this game. I hit 40 today on stream. This dude was annoying right here. This dude just anyway. Um, um, I believe that you could. I believe that you could. I'm just kind of waiting for the clips to play themselves out because this is realistically the last few. Um, See what I mean? That's the one right there. This is the clip I was saying. Look at how long, and then he's gonna flop. Yeah, this like look at how long he's doing that. And again, I'm playing his side. Look at that part of it is not it's not particularly fun to me. You said you're right about 2K not teaching basketball because I've been trying to watch some games and even play some to learn a bit, but I haven't learned like anything at all. See, the dance this is what I'm saying. The dancing here, again, I don't have a problem with it. They want to do it, they can do it. But the problem is I'm just you need a counter. You got to have balance, and it hasn't been balanced. But anyway, if you have the right mentality, you can play the game. Um, would I recommend you spending your money on it? It has a season pass now, which has some things in it that unfortunately, see, this is why I said the mini games that it relates to streaming, the mini games as it relates to playing the game. Um, it's like the little it's like little tweaks that need to be done to the game. See, like why like this is what I mean about playing defense. This is my defensive scheme right here. Look at where I am. I'm facing him. He's coming back to me as every dribbler pretty much does. I reach for the ball with the correct hand and don't get it. Look, it's like, what do you do at that point? Like, what do you? And now I'm at a like a at a, and then they get points off of it. That's why I said that's what irritates me the most about it is that you can't do anything. You can't do anything about that, and there's nothing for you to learn from it. This game here was a bit of a tough one for reasons like that. You know what I mean? So, but it is what it is. Yeah. I missed the dunk. I missed the dunk. I missed the dunk. What do you? And then I got teammates doing the flop animation. That's why I said it's the game. It's a mix of the game and the people. The people make it worse. I'm just gonna let the clips play out. Um, he didn't have layup timing and he missed it. Covers said open. We ended up losing that game. I remember that one. I remember that one. But again, I hope you're enjoying the clips. I had a lot of fun in reference to the game. I thought the clips was gonna I thought the clips was gonna outlast. I thought we were gonna outlast the clips, I'll be honest. But I enjoy. I'll put it this way. I outside of the last stream, I enjoyed my time on the game. If you have other games that you grind and that you play, I can't with a good conscience recommend this game to you. Um, this game has some things that are extremely frustrating. Um, it has its fun moments, and that was the last clip. So there you go. It has its fun moments, but as you saw, it has some really frustrating things that are just not basketball, and they're things that could be tweaked, and there are things that have been in the game. Like the things that I'm talking about are not new things. The ball running into you, that's not new. It's not new in the slightest. It's not new. The missing dunks, the little mini games with the ball, that's a few years old at this point. The shooting, that's a new problem that they just like that was from 23 and they decided to tone it down a little bit but still shrink your green window. So the green window that was like this is now like this, and then you still have some variable shot timing on top of lag, mind you, which is why I said I can't with a good conscience say that you would enjoy this game. I don't I don't believe in paying to be frustrated. This is entertainment. This is supposed to be entertainment. This is supposed to be something that's fun. This is supposed to be something that's enjoyable. I don't know a person that pays for a game that they want to play and is comfortable being extremely bad at it. Like, unless that's what they were going for. I'm a competitive person. Basketball is just, as much as I love my community, for those who disappeared or, or whatever during 2K month while we weren't doing variety, because I'm a variety streamer, I will not build a community based off of this game. I can't do it long term. I can't. Just check out the videos from Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I'm just saying. Check out the last few episodes. I can't do it long term because that's how much it's ingrained in me. When I see something that is not supposed to happen, or when I see something that's incorrect that could have been fixed, I'm not here to criticize anybody. I'm just here to say what I have in front of me, what I have in my hands, what I'm experiencing. This isn't everybody's experience, but this is what I'm experiencing. So, once again, I hope you enjoyed the clips, enjoyed the review. We went through a bit of everything. It's just the game overall itself is frustrating at times. It's frustrating, and it's frustrating for the wrong reasons. Like I said, if I do something wrong or if I do something, I should be able to learn from it. This game doesn't present that. It doesn't present that. It's pretty much rolling a dice based off of some background numbers, and I'm not a huge fan of that. It has. I'm not saying that's what the entire game is made up of, but it has those moments, and those moments where you want to do something specific, those are the ones that frustrate me the most. When you need something specific to happen, when you hit your steal button and nothing happens, it sucks. Ladies and gentlemen, we're almost at an hour. I appreciate y'all for hanging out this long. Um, that is my review of 2K24 for whatever it's worth. Um, I don't know who's interested, but I'm real. This is like, I showed you what the game is like. If this is what you're into, y'all can look at the very first episode and see what my build is. That's the same build I rocked with. I didn't change. I told you I put on the arm sleeve. That's it. I don't run with the boost. You see the Gatorade thing because I did my workouts. I just bare minimum. All right. But no problem, Ramsey. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Again, this isn't by any means, what you're going to experience when you get your hands on the game. You may have friends to play with. I'm just coming from a perspective where I have like maybe one or two people that I play with sometimes. So that may affect your view on the game, but me as a whole, I'm reviewing it by itself as a standalone. Not, because I put a whole bunch of money into the game, not because all my friends are playing it and I'm playing stage and playing comp and all of this. I'm just playing the game. I play who's in front of me. And based off of who's in front of me, this is what I'm experiencing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all. I will see y'all in the next series, which is Sons of the Forest, and I'm excited because survival is my genre. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. That's it, y'all. Until next time, y'all know the motto. If you're going to do it right. Peace, y'all. Tiger out. Love y'all.